In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about usage reports and benchmarking. So let's go ahead and start with the benchmarking. I'm still in my Applications tab, and I'll go ahead and click on this drop down again, but click Benchmark this time. So now I need to describe what I'm benchmarking here. We'll give it a name, Magento benchmark. In my tags, I'm going to go ahead and select development. I can scroll down, I can see the benchmark settings. Let's say I want 100 to be the number of concurrent requests, number of repeats 5, etc., however you would like to do this. There are two different ways to also benchmark to test. One is the response rate method, which measures the response rate of a page load. The utility will simply load the application page a configurable number of times concurrently to test the response rate. Now, the test plan method allows an admin to load a test plan from Java, which the utility executes and reports results on. I go past that and I see the machines that will be tested for this application, Nginx 2, MySQL 1, and an Apache 2 server. And here we're going to add a configuration. And we see that it adds medium load generator, medium, medium, medium for all the virtual machines. And then I can also add small and large instances as well. And then I go ahead and click submit. I already have these results, luckily, so we don't have to wait for them. And so we'll go into the benchmarks tab, and I can even expand Magento and see the different jobs that were run. But in this case, we're just going to click on results here. And we see a cost and performance analysis as well as price performance analysis. Now on the left, we see that there's no real difference between the small, medium, or large deployments. So we have 0.01 for the small deployment and then 0.02 for the medium and large. There's no real difference there, so this tells an architect or someone running the Cloud Center environment that there's no real difference. We might as well run the small deployment because we're going to save money on infrastructure or cloud costs by running that small deployment, and there's no real performance gain. And then on the right there, we see the price performance index chart, which shows that the small deployment has the best price per performance ratio. So smaller is better in this case. So we can actually right size that by clicking on applications, going back to the Magento box and clicking edit update. We see the topology modeler. We can click on our Apache application. We can go to hardware specification. And we could actually change that in here. We're already running a small, but if it were larger, we could change it back to 1 CPU, and then every time we deploy that application from now on, that VM has been right-sized. So let's talk a little bit about the usage reports, which brings us back to the admin tab. Scroll down here and click on usage reports. Now, there are several different usage reports that we can use. The first one to come up is the usage summary report. At the top there, we see the total cloud cost, which is $4.50. The total node hours, the current running VMs, we're not very much. And we're just on the current month here. We can change that to year to date or custom. We have several filters to the left side, so we can filter this list down if we don't want to keep going through it. We can see over here our CentOS running in the US West Oregon region for the Amazon cloud, AWS, is where we see that $4.47 with 171 VM hours. So that's kind of a nice thing to get an overall view of total costs. We can also drill down in here and get an invoice summary report. We can click on invoice details and see how much we owe for a certain amount of time, whether it's paid or unpaid. And if we click back, we can also see user activity report. So we can click on the usage details for a certain user and see the amount of hours, the actual charge per user. We can also export all of this data We'll click back, click on User Session Activity Report. We can see how many times a certain admin has actually logged in. And if we wanted to, we can see a trial users report, which is a similar thing, except for trial users, obviously. And that's it for the benchmarking and usage reports.